Slide number 13. Develop area of parallelograms part 1. Directions. Use the grid and parallelogram provided to follow the directions below. Answer the questions in the gray boxes on this slide and the next slide. Here's our picture of our parallelogram. It's the gray one. The blue is the grid in the background. Notice our parallelogram has two sets of parallel sides. The left side and the right side would keep going and never touch. And the top and the bottom, the two bases, would keep going in either direction and never touch. That's what makes them parallel. And all of them together give us our parallelogram. Number 1, try to count the number of squares inside this parallelogram. How many squares, or square units, do you see in this parallelogram below? Be sure to include partial squares. So we're thinking about the area of this. How much is gray? How many of these squares are colored gray instead of blue? So to do this, I want to start at the top. I have one full square here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full squares across the top. But I also have this one which is partially gray and partially blue. And back here, one is partially blue and partially gray. Together, I can consider this little corner the missing piece of this one. So I would add that as one full space. Your job for number 1 is to try to count how many squares you think are filled in. And when you can, combine the two that are not full. Number 2, we're going to click here to watch a video of how we can decompose a parallelogram. Carefully observe what happens and what shape you see now. Now, you're going to click here, open it up on YouTube. I've already done so. It's a really quick video, so pay attention closely. I'm going to watch it with you here. It's only 12 seconds. So again, we start off with this parallelogram that we've started. I'm going to play. A line comes down, which is the height. It's how tall it is. And then that extra piece that's cut off is moved over to the right. And we have a new shape. Again, we started off with a parallelogram. That triangle was cut off and moved down. And now we have a new paragraph or new shape. And your question for number 2 is to tell me what shape you see. When this piece was cut off, this triangle slid over, and we wound up with this. What shape is it?